Hi everybody, Dan here. um, Welcome back to the collective. I am Del Salvador, and this is Shadow Academy. Shadow Academy. I'm gonna tell you why this is really good. So, Shadow Academy is most notably known, even though their debut was only a couple months ago, and they don't have that much following. They're most known for having Dan from Game Grumps, Dan Avedon, in this band as a vocalist. I'm pretty sure as a writer in certain aspects. And he has many bands. He's always had, from Ninja Sex Party, which is like his own comedy band, from Starbomb with Aaron, the other host of Game Grumps. And usually, music made by YouTubers usually aren't really that good, to be honest. And usually, 90% of the times, for whatever reason, it's rap, which isn't to say that's the same thing, just it happens to be not good and happens to be usually not rap. It's very rare that a YouTuber or YouTubers or what have you, internet people, internet influencers, whatever you want to call them, it's very rare that they go into anything else besides rap or hip hop, let alone rock. And I gotta tell you, out of the whole year, probably even lately, I would put this as one of the better albums come out of late at all in terms of the whole scene. And to be honest, part of that is because rock and metal have been kind of in a slump lately. Not a lot happening. It all kind of sounds the same. It's all kind of, they know it works. They use the things that work, all that kind of stuff. And not to say that that's the only reason, because even besides that, not only does this sound fresh and sound really cool, and not to mention every single song of the 12 songs on this album are really good, but also they're taking chances, they're doing some creative things, and there's a lot of cool stuff on this album. And like most bands, when they first start out, the first album tends to be the purest form of their sound, what they really want to get across, usually, intentionally or not. And this definitely has that if you know of Dan and his interests in stuff. An album cover like this, the name Shadow Academy, and around the subject matter, won't exactly surprise you as much. Not to say it's surprising, but it feels like Dan. It really feels like something he would do. There's a lot of talk about just things like Moby Dick, things like vampires, etc., etc., etc. Very fantasy esque as the album cover, and there is you can find a bit of everything on here. There's a bit of slower rock songs, some more proggier ones, some more funkier ones, some more hard hitting ones. There's some ballads on here. Everything you want, pretty much, is on here. The first track, White Whale, is is was one of the two singles off this album. That being track one and track three, Once and Nevermore. White Whale, phenomenal rocker, nice synths, really cool bass work, really cool stuff there. Um, um, all the songs are incredibly catchy, incredibly good, and all kind of stuff. The video is also really cool. This song specifically is about Moby Dick and things similar. Um, the next song, Cast No Shadow, definitely a really cool thing to do here, where they use not exactly a tempo slowdown, but it's hard to explain. They do this really cool thing on what is it the verse the to the pre-chorus where the instruments drop out, drums kind of drop out, which by the way is a really nice drum groove on this track by the way, and the strings kind of do a little descend, and it almost acts as like it's weird because a beat drop and kind of build intensity kind of very different things, and it tends to do kind of both at the same time, kind of. It's hard to explain. Listen to it, you know what I mean? Really cool stuff they're doing. Next track, track three, Once and Nevermore. Fantastic track. I feel like with Dan, he sounds good when he's belting out notes and going full out, but if it's done right, the calmer songs he sounds a lot better on. And this is definitely one of those cases. Again, the only one of the 3 music videos on this album, um, this one and the one for the other side, the last track, are tied. I'm 90% sure. I could be wrong. Feel free to sue me. Don't. Um, this again, like I said, is one of the calmer songs. Very beautiful melody. Very uplifting, kind of. You know. The song itself sounds very uplifting, very calming, very sweet, very grand, especially the chorus, and nice piano stuff on here, nice synths toward the end. But with the video and the lyrics, it becomes a bit more bittersweet, but still a fantastic song. Invisible is the track number 4. We get back to that rocking style, and this is one thing that this album does really good, is that push and pull that a lot of good albums have, and a lot of okay albums would definitely benefit from, depending on why it's mediocre. Mostly because you can't just have a whole album of sad or a whole album of rock, roll, and really come across that. I don't know. It doesn't always work. It usually doesn't. So you have to have a bit of push and pull for a lot of reasons, and this album definitely has that. So Visible picks it right back up again. Lots of cool synth stuff. More soaring vocals from Dan, and this is probably the song that sounds the most like his other band, NSP, Ninja Sex Party, and I honestly think this is his best album to date that he's done out of anything. And personally, like, I don't think NSP is that great, and not to say that this for me, what I see is with NSP, because I'm not there, but from outside looking in, it seems like a lot of the focus is more on the humor. So if the humor is not your type of humor, the songs don't exactly have a lot left to them. I'm not saying the songs in themselves aren't good. It's just that when you're focusing on the lyrics and the subject matter first, and songwriting comes second, you can tell. And for most songs, it feels like their focus is on the lyrical content and not actually the songs themselves. I haven't listened I listen to all their albums. I haven't done it in a long time. I have to give certain tracks a chance, like 69, but generally not. It feels like the focus is not on the music. With this album, it feels like it's music first, but also lyrics first, and they're kind of intertwining the thing. And I feel like this is a lot more cohesive. All the songs are good, and the lyrical subject matter matches that really well, and they're both done really well as well. Some cool, really nice lines, all kind of stuff. Anyways, back to the reason why I bring that up is because the song "Visible" is the most NSP sound we get on this album, at least to me. Mostly because of the synths. Again, really good sort of vocals, all kind of stuff. Fall Like a Meteor is, from what I remember, give me 5 seconds. Yeah, it's a bit more funky. Definitely a bit more funky. I said I remember what song it was, excuse me. I only have so much time to do this, that's why I'm rushing a bit. Bit more funky. Real nice stuff there. Get nice drums, nice everything. At this point, there's only a lot to say. It's just like, this song is good, this is also good, this is also good, this is also good. They're all good. They're all good. Trust me, they're all good. And they're all different flavors. They're all different flavors of rock, different flavors of roll. So, definitely in your own time, definitely listen to this. The next track, Wind and Waves Interlude, is not a rewrite. It's a little section from the second to last track, Wind and Waves, and basically they just kind of take one of the melodies in the background and they kind of make it into its own song. It's hard to explain. If you listen to both, you get my point. Near the end of Wind and Waves is a bit of a calm down, and it's just taking the main ideas from that calm down, kind of redoing it as its own much shorter song. And the flute melody on the Wind and Waves Interlude reminds me, I don't know what it is, it's very nostalgic. I couldn't tell you why, I really couldn't, but it's a very nice calm down. And then we go into All For one of the most chaotic, almost proggy little songs on this album. Definitely a lot of cool guitar work and stuff. Again, I want to make something sure before I talk out of my ass. Yeah, the back end of All for One definitely has a phenomenal guitar solo. Um, it starts very bluesy, not blues, but it starts very calm and subdued, and then kind of the song picks up again, and you get a lot more shred. Very cool solo, very cool stuff. Um, then we get down the rabbit hole, which at least vocal wise on certain aspects to me remind me a lot of REO Speedwagon in certain songs, certain ballads, and this is definitely yet another calm down. And then we get Night Interlude, and it almost sounds to me in the piano. The melody is a little similar to Coldplay's Paradise at some spots, just a little bit, just a little bit. Um, yeah, meaning anxiety. Want to try to get that right. Yeah, it is a song I'm thinking of. Curb my anxiety a little bit. I mean, Kaleidoscope. A bit more of a grander song. Pick up from Night Interlude, and definitely a good song. Um, Again, they're all good. There's not really much to say near the latter half because they just be repeating things all over the place. But it's good. It's rock. It's a bit grandiose. And the next track, Wind and Waves, 6 minutes, is the most grandiose we get overall. Maybe not grandiose, but more spacious. It's definitely a big, wide open song. Lots of power chords, strings, etc., etc. And the last track, The Other Side, is a phenomenal closer. And this is another calm down. And it's a bit more. It's comparable to Once and Nevermore. It's the same kind of vibe. It's a little different, but the main difference is Once and Nevermore is a bit more sonically uplifting, and this one is a bit sonically a bit more melancholic, a little eerie-ish. The videos for Once and Nevermore on the other side are phenomenal. Check those out if you can. That's it though. The album is good. The whole thing is, to be honest, not a bad song on here, and none of them really exactly sound the same. Like they're all rock, sure, but they're all different flavors. Like I said, you got something a bit more prog, a bit more, almost I wouldn't say Muse, but a bit more like Muse and Supermassive Black Hole, a bit more funky. You got songs that are a bit more like heavy hitting. I mean, you got songs that are kind of like, even the ballads, some are more like, a bit more Speedwagon-esque a little bit. Some with, the more piano bass. Some that are acoustic guitar, synth bass, But, lots of good stuff on here. Definitely worth, a check out. Definitely worth, a listen, I mean. Definitely worth it for your time. And out of all the YouTuber music that tends to come out, this is definitely a shining example of what some people can do. And I think YouTubers especially get a lot of slack, and there's a lot of bias of, oh, there's YouTubers, whatever. Even certain voice actors I've heard from YouTube will just get like, really phenomenal and get shoved to the side because, oh, they're a YouTuber. And do not let that sway you. This is a fantastic album. Definitely worth it. If they do have an online store where you can buy CDs, vinyls, merch. I definitely suggest you do that. Supporting artists is always good. I'm Del Salvador. This is Shadow Academy, and that's about it. So yeah, I'd probably say it's for sure a 9 out of 10, for sure. Like I said at the start, out of a lot of the metal and rock I've been hearing as of the last year or so, this definitely stands out, and it's definitely not the same stuff you're hearing a lot of in the mainstream metal world. I personally cannot wait for the next release from them, and that's about it. I'm sorry for not posting for a long time. Lots of things are happening. You can watch the update video, the video before this. Long story short, got a new roommate out of nowhere almost overnight. Don't have any time to do anything regarding this kind of stuff. I'm also trying to get my own musical project off the ground a little bit. So thank you for your patience. I'm going to try and get videos out when I can, because I did promise it would be at least once a week, and I immediately broke that. But I got this out. I do have other ones planned. I got the new King Gizzard album planned. Got I'm gonna try and do a Maroon 5 album at some point. Some Nurse with Wound, a bunch of random stuff. Maybe some Tool. For right now, this should definitely keep you satisfied, keep you busy for a bit. And no more false ends. That's actually it. See you in the next one.